Well, when the people ask, I shall deliver. If you're wondering why I'm not coming to you from my usual podcast room, it's because my next project has been decided. Yep, welcome to the new and improved set of Hat's Kitchen. As for those of you hoping to see me also make show Olympics, don't expect a miracle. Anyway, it's here that 10 objects will compete against each other to earn that sweet, salaried position as Chef Hat's newest sous chef. Now, while the contestants have been decided, their voices have not. So it's time to open the floor for some auditions. How this will work is that I'm going to detail the 11 main characters in the show, and if any particularly strike your fancy, you can fill out the form in the description, including an audio recording of you saying the 3 lines associated with the character you're applying for. Feel free to audition for more than one character if you'd like. I'll be accepting submissions up until January 15th, after which the voices will be picked out and lines will be sent. For anybody aiming to audition, please consider how available you'll be to send in lines in the future, because I'm really not all that interested in having to constantly recast characters. Also, keep in mind that this cast list is very small, so you aren't guaranteed a spot. But I will be featuring some guest stars in each episode, so you could still possibly get a spot as a one-episode role, even if you don't quite make it in as a contestant. Enough waffling, let's get into the character reveal. First up, we've got Adam from Stanford, California. While he might currently be a researcher and college professor, some unforeseen circumstances have pushed him to look for a career change. And what better career is there for a chemist than cooking? Of course, being from academia, he gets stressed easily when he can't pick up something quick, and he can sometimes come off as a tad paranoid. But he still takes pride in his work and is determined to get his life back on track. Speaking of pride, it's about to get a whole lot more French. Introducing Beret. Coming from Sun Hat's notoriously strict and high-achieving brigade in Paris, Beret, or Beret if you're nasty, got an eye for detail and precision, even if she sometimes struggles with breaking out of her routine. She always puts the needs of the team first, occasionally to the detriment of her own interests, but there's nobody you can trust more to always have your back. While Beret might be high class, this next chef found a whole new meaning for the word rustic. It's free continental breakfast, or brekkie for short. Brekkie owns a small hotel in his home state of Mississippi, one often reviewed as quaint or homely, or not the reason you're coming to Biloxi. While he knows how to provide excellent customer service, with an emphasis on customer, he can sometimes get a little bored of business as usual and can find creative ways to mix things up. But of course, he's still focused on one thing: impressing Chef Hat. Next, from Chef Hat's biggest fan to someone that's probably never even heard of him, it's Cider, fresh from Fountain of Destiny. Cider suffers from acute memory loss, as well as trust issues stemming from people trying to take advantage of said memory loss. But she has her systems to work around it, which have worked well enough to let her solo run a moderately successful bakery in Saugatuck, Michigan. She's snarky, confident, and not afraid to say, wait, what was I talking about? On the topic of familiar faces, straight from GM, Tonatak, and the other GM, it's Frying Pan. I can pretend like I'm holding an audition for him, but I'd only be fooling myself. It's gonna be Silver Marie. Otherwise, I'd be dead. Anywho, Frying Pan already works as a star cook at Chef Hat's premier Vegas restaurant. What more does he have to prove? You know what they say, when you don't have to compete, you don't have to care. Cooking is Frying Pan's domain, and he'd be hard-pressed to find anybody who could do it better than him. Everybody better stow your tray tables, cause Fuel Tester is coming in for a landing. As a premier pilot for Omega, based out of Atlanta, Georgia, Fuel Tester is chock full of ambition. She knows what she wants and works twice as hard as anyone else to get it, even if that sometimes leads to stepping on supportive toes. Next up, we've got Jade. She may struggle to open up to people, and she may not be the biggest personality, but thanks to working at her parents' restaurant since she was but a child, cooking has always been an important part of Jade's life. As one of the only immigrant families in her small Iowa town, she's often felt like a bit of an outsider. But who knows, maybe she'll be able to find a sense of community working with a brand new group. Speaking of community, LGBT community that is, we've got Pomegranate. Originally from Flagstaff, Arizona before going to college in California, they're an anthropology-archaeology double major with a distinct love for learning. They've memorized all the ancient cooking techniques and have scoured libraries for as many recipe books as they could find. So now all Pomegranate needs is a place to try said recipes out for themselves. With boundless energy and excitement about new experiences, the only thing that could slow them down is the fact that they've only actually cooked, twice? If you want energy, oh, then you'll get energy. Stand at attention, cause Sardines has arrived. This Oklahoma native enlisted in the Army ages ago and is now one of the most decorated Marines colonels of all time. But now that his tour of duty is over, he's looking to make the most of the cooking skills his platoon said were better than average for a man. Will his strict authoritarian style clash with the rest of his brigade? Only one way to find out. Last for the contestants is Willow, a practicing witch from Salem, Massachusetts. Their focus on brewing potions utilizing cooking-grade herbs means they're chef enough for this game. With hexes in hand, Willow is determined to uphold the most devious persona for themselves, even if their good deeds are constantly saying otherwise. That may do it for the contestants, but of course we still have to talk about the host. Last but for real this time, the host of Hat's Kitchen, Chef Hat. While he can come across as harsh and critical, he's most focused on trying to get the contestants to constantly work hard and improve every day. He just does so by lovingly roasting them every now and then. So yeah, there's the complete cast list for the competitors and the host. Fingers crossed it sounds like a fun and engaging show for y'all, and hopefully it more or less matches with what you were expecting it would look like. One last thing. On top of needing voice actors, I'm also thinking of possibly working with people to get more backgrounds drawn, since that typically ends up being the part of showmaking that I struggle with the most. So if you've got an interest in art and can match my low-key lazy style, then reach on out and we'll see if I've got anything for you. But yeah, until next time, hasta la vista!